Hey everyone, BJ Korros, and this is the Hollywood Moment at Home edition. On today's show, our house is getting a little fuller because our guest today is Michael Campion. Michael, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, just chilling in quarantine.
Yeah. I'd like to start the show and get a feeling how everybody's been holding up through quarantine, because I think you started off in Florida, didn't you, with the quarantine?
Yeah, that's right. So we didn't actually know it was going to go on for this long. So we packed to go to Florida for like 2 weeks for my friend's birthday and like just to chill. And then it got extended farther. So I was kind of stuck without anything for like a month and a half, honestly. So it was a relief to like come back here and have my car, have my, clothes, my games, everything here. So it was great. I'm doing a lot better now than I was. And things are slowly kind of, getting better. So going out public is a little easier. So it's been all right.
Now, what did you do while you were in Florida? Because you guys were quarantined at that point, so it limited what you all could do.
We were very quarantined, right? Because we don't really live in the middle of like anything. We're like 20 miles out from a lot of stuff. So, and we didn't have our cars either. So, going to get groceries was all my dad. And I fortunately had my bass guitar with me. So I have gotten much better at playing the bass than I was going into quarantine, for sure.
So have you perfected a little more on the instrument now?
I have. My fingers are getting a little beat up, but that's okay. I'm learning like some slapping and, cool songs. So yeah, I've been, it's been pretty good.
So you're back in California. When did you get back in California?
I got back, I think, around May 1st when they kind of lifted the like travel thing for Florida. So I got back as soon as I could, honestly. I consider this my home over Florida, to be honest with you.
So any new songs that you've written during quarantine?
Any songs I've written? Oh boy. Maybe not written. I honestly, that hasn't even been the extent of what I've been doing. On top of that, I mean, bass was like the only thing I really did in Florida. But as I've been here, lots of new magic tricks that I've learned. That's a thing. Working out, like I just started taking like Russian. So I'm really trying to like fill my time so I don't kind of
I heard about the Russian. Why did you choose Russian?
Why did I choose Russian? That's really funny. My best friend is Russian, and I thought, it's just really cool to be like, hey, I speak Russian, right. People are like, oh, he's like tough, but then I have a friend who can actually like help me because he's fluent, and I figured that was really cool to have that kind of use that resource.
That is cool. And you're prepping yourself for any roles that you may have opportunities in for film upcoming.
Exactly, right. Getting buff, learn Russian, right?
I know, right? We're going to have some. So you're planning ahead. I like that you're always thinking ahead of the game, Michael. There's no question about that. That's smart thinking. It really is. The beautiful part is that you've been really connected to. How is this resonating to you for the final season as we're launching this and starting to stream on Netflix?
It's I'm gonna use the word bittersweet because that's really there's no better word because now that it's like officially over, like there is not anything else coming out as we know of,
right,
fullest
we know of right now,
right. Yeah, it definitely leaves a hole in my heart. But I think during this time, they kind of placed it at the right moment so people have something to like look forward to.
What's interesting is if you go back to the last episode of the first part for season 5, you all went into a crisis mode, so to speak.
We never have time to do this. There's always some crisis going on. But right now,
I have a crisis.
You did this.
And reflecting on that, it's got to be somewhat serendipitous. Obviously, the new second part of the season isn't going to pick up talking about crisis mode, but I think it's very interesting that you ended the first part of the season in a crisis mode.
It's so funny. I'm telling you, Fuller House has done that more times than I can count. Art has imitated life and vice versa on that show. It's so funny. I remember one time in specific that was really funny. Just like a small little serendipity kind of. Well, not opposite. What is the opposite of serendipity? I don't know. There was a fire on the set the same day that we were like pretending to have a fire on the show, and everyone like got evacuated out of the thing, and we're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Like as we were trying to film that scene, like the fire wasn't on the set. It was like somewhere completely different within the building. And then other times, like just things that have happened to me that have happened like almost directly on the show. And that's been kind of a common theme for everyone. So I'm definitely not surprised that we left that off and now we're in this part.
I know. And if you remember the sub scene that you guys did, and one of the lines was sneeze guard.
Really gonna need each other to get through this world.
Yeah, that's what makes us perfect for each other. You're like the sneeze guard to my salad bar.
And that just blew me away as well, that, there's references not knowing what was going to be happening. Become very crucial as we continue this next part of our lives of this new normal.
It's like the Simpsons. They're like predicting all this crazy random stuff.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it? So what should we expect for this coming season? I mean, we ended with the flash mob. We're going to have a triple wedding.
And my best friend. A triple wedding!
What should we expect?
Oh, man. You're going to tears. Tears is the word I'm going for here. It's very sad, but it's also very conclusive. At least for Jackson's character, the second part, I think he has the most growth kind of going into it because he realizes that, oh, man, I was about to give away a spoiler, but like, he realizes something in the show that
Don't do it. Don't do it. They can
right. We're so
they can start streaming this now on Netflix.com. So let's hold that thought.
Right. I'm holding the thought. Something happens and Jackson starts changing his character a little bit. So you're gonna see a lot of changes for him. He kind of goes from like from this little boy to like young man throughout honestly the whole show. That's like been like big arc, but like season 5 part 2 really just kind of nails home, now that Ramona and Jackson are thinking about college and thinking about jobs and relationship stuff. So be prepared for just the absolute best conclusion you've ever seen to a show. It is beautiful.
Now, does Jackson's relationship with Steve build a little more too? Actually,
it does. It grows. That's like one of the biggest things that I'm actually really proud of. Is that my relationship with kind of, I'm gonna use father figure, right. Because in season 4, I had one episode that is still my favorite where I had an entire episode of just bonding with Steve. And it was so nice for me because I'm like kind of connected to that character, and seeing that relief for Jackson was really nice. And there's a whole lot of that, more than I can even express here.
You were doing great until the car broke down. On the plus side, for the 1 mile that you actually drove, you only hit 2 garbage cans.
How was that a plus?
You missed the other 4.
Oh, yeah. I am a great driver.
I wouldn't exactly say that. You have the unearned confidence of a Kardashian.
Which one?
Doesn't matter.
Now, you mentioned that getting ready and thinking about college. Has there been any talk, because people have been wondering, will there be a spinoff from Fuller House? Not yet Fullest House, but Fuller House. Would there be something where you might go off to college and we may see something built from that?
There have definitely, I have heard some things. I definitely have heard things.
So you're breaking some news here now, maybe?
I don't know. I have heard people, some of the cast and crew and, Warner Horizon and stuff, they have hinted, maybe not just that, but maybe like a Fuller House, like Christmas special or like I don't know. It's somewhere up in the clouds, but that's what I heard. I know maybe about as much as you do, but yes, I am sort of semi-confirming that has been said.
Now, it's interesting. How do you think, if we're still in our new normal, some of this will take place to keep the family unity together in the filming? Have you thought about that?
You know, I I haven't thought about it like for filming and all that, because right now everything is kind of shut down. Like they're not even considering filming anything right this second. Shows have stopped production. Any movies that are in production are just, on hold for a while. So the only way that would even happen is if it's 100% safe. The way that they're filming stuff right now is very strange. Well, not strange, but very, according to the times. Like advertisements and stuff. So that's kind of the only work. As for like voiceovers, that's kind of the only avenue for revenue I have right now, and that's happening a lot too. So I don't know. I try not to think about it because I can't really do anything about it right now until things start to kind of pick up the pace. But I certainly hope that things get back to normal really, really fast because everyone's kind of going crazy.
Have you felt COVID fatigue? I like using that term, COVID fatigue. Have you felt it?
COVID fatigue. I like that term too. I definitely have. Hasn't been super apparent as I've been in LA, just because I finally, I kind of have like relief. I'm here with my stuff. Right. But in Florida, definitely, I was struggling pretty hard because I didn't have anything, and that just kind of made me appreciate people who were even in less fortunate positions than I was for stuff like that. So it kind of put things in perspective. But yeah, I think everyone has a little bit. Obviously not seeing my friends has been hard. They were planning to come out here and stay with me in LA for several months. They're all actors, and I have some, rooms here. That was kind of let down. But I'm able to see my family. I think there's more. There's definitely a silver lining. Definitely a silver lining, and that's kind of what I'm trying to look at. But you're right, there definitely is some fatigue.
And I think that people hearing peers that you've even felt that, because that's the key thing, that we truly are. And I know this sounds so cliche. We're all in it together, but people got to realize that it's not just themselves that are feeling these vulnerabilities as we're in this COVID state. And yes, we're slowly getting out of it, but I think it's also going to have residual effects as we're getting out, because just like actors and actresses, correct me if I'm wrong, that, everybody's going to be going, hey, we're back in production. I'm so excited. And then the waiting game's a much longer waiting game for a role or a part than it ever was before, because everybody really has to kick things in before they get started. And then there's got to be that testing ground before it really kicks in the way we used to know it to be.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Even if everything were to get better tomorrow, even if everything were to just magically go back, there's so much that needs to be done still to ensure like safety and like another thing doesn't hit another wave. And that's really the unfortunate part about it, is that it's probably going to take upwards of several months for actors even to get back to a place where they can audition. And then there's several even more actors who are now starving. So it's like, there's going to be a lot that get out of the game, and there's going to be a lot that are in the game, hardcore and at it and even more aggressive. So you're right. It's going to be harder in that sense. And, like you were saying, we're all in this together. We definitely are. But I know, so many people like we're all in the same storm, not necessarily in the same parts of the ocean or in the same boats. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it, that, so many people who are in really bad positions, who already were underprivileged and stuff, are now suffering even more. And I just have such a heart for that. Like I've always had a heart for homeless and, underprivileged children. So anyway, I can give back to that. I'm really trying.
And that's a good point that you brought up, because you, as a youngster, and I want to use that word because
I'll take that word. That's good.
You've grown up in the industry. You literally have. And as a youngster, you really have been so giving back to the community. And I can't think of how many different red carpet events that you actually were a part of to help give back to your favorite charities. So while you're in COVID, what are some of those charities and supports that you're giving out to some of those great causes that you've been traditionally giving back to?
Yeah, some of the causes that I've been into, like St. Baldrick's is one of my favorites. They are really the big event that was supposed to give them a lot of money ended up falling through because of March. It was going to happen in March, and that was really a bummer. So I was able to give them some money for in kind of cooperation with that. But now I started a new thing called Cameo. I'm sure that you've heard of it. So Cameo basically is you get requests from people to take videos like birthday shout outs or like congratulations, something of that sense, and you have the option to donate it to a charity of your choosing. So I was able to take that money and give it continuously back to there's one helping homeless people during COVID right now. If you guys want to help out, you can just go to Cameo and request a Cameo from me.
That sounds awesome, and it's good that you're still doing this to give back, because Michael, I think more than ever, all these charities, and there's so many out there that are in dire straits because, like you said, their big galas, their big events have been canceled, and they've had to go to virtual, and people's pocketbooks are a little tighter than they used to be. So any bit helps, whether it be $1 or $5. Every dollar counts and every dollar helps, and it's great that you're still doing things that help keep support the better good for the community and help the support of those in need. It really is, Michael.
Definitely. Yeah. I really try to use my influence for the greater good, because I know I have a lot of friends who tend to exploit that, and they just use it for personal gain. And that's never been my forte.
Well, I'm there with you. And we know you're true and dear to the different organizations that you support, because we've been right there with you and supporting you all the way. What are all your friends saying about the final half of season 5 on Netflix?
They're very proud. Most of my friends are actors, and they understand how difficult it is to even get on a show that's that successful. So they're very appreciative, especially my two best friends, Louis Tomio and Justin Jerzambek. They were going to be my roommates. I've known them for a long time, and they've been with me for pretty much every step of the journey. And they were actually there the last day of filming, so I bawled my eyes out with them in my dressing room. It was really nice. It was a really nice moment. So they're very supportive. So is my family, and a lot of the fans too. They're just supporting left and right. It's great.
What's some of your best memories of the first day you were on set and the course of the 5 years with Fuller House?
First day I was on set was a whirlwind. It was, I don't think you understand. I got there 2 days before we started filming. I did my final audition. They gave me the job there on the spot. They took me to Warner Brothers. They cut my hair. They gave me a script. I learned it. Next day I started shooting. And I was in this whole new world. Literally everything I had ever known was just flipped upside down. And that was actually the week of my birthday too. I seem to have some pretty good birthdays, honestly. Yeah.
You had a birthday on the set too. That was your first birthday on set, was it not?
That was my first birthday on set. I turned 13 on the set of Fuller House. So that was crazy. Then I met everyone. I got acquainted. I met like John Stamos and all the Legacy cast, and I was like, what is going on? So really my first memory is just like a collection of this crazy whirlwind of memories. But I think some of my favorite memories, I don't really know if I can even pinpoint one, because there have been so many great ones, but in the range of, Japan was amazing. Us going to Japan, experiencing that different culture. That one episode that I shot, that's my favorite, where I was bonding with Steve. We've gone to, San Francisco. I've made so many memories, like pranking Sony on Fuller House and goofing off with Elias. It's just kind of a culmination of so much wholesomeness. But if I had to say one, it's just how close we all got as a family. Like we're truly a second family. And that's just, I've just come to appreciate that so much more now that we're done.
It's so interesting because I bet if you go through the pictures and the archives from the set, you've got like a photo memory of so many different stages of your life, right?
Yeah, it's crazy because my life is very well documented. I can say that from 12 all the way to, now 17. I've been on camera. I've been, there with the fans, and it's been kind of nice, actually. I like looking back and having those memories.
Let's talk about the cast. I mean, you talk about the legacy cast. First of all, did you binge watch Full House before you actually started on Fuller House?
I didn't binge watch it because I had already watched all of Full House by the time I got on the show. It was one of my favorite shows. I watched it on Nick at Night with like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and George Lopez and friends of my mom, pretty much like every other night when I like from 5 onwards. So that was a pretty strong part of my childhood. And when I got on Fuller House, like that was nuts. That was crazy. So being with the legacy cast was this surreal, like, is this real life right now? Am I like, I had to pinch myself seriously, like every time I drove on set to go shoot. It was great.
This is hard. It's like a parent having to say who was their favorite child, but we'll give you a break. No one will see it, right? Who did you have the most fun? First, let's talk about legacy cast. Who kept you the most in stitches or just made your day, or you were the most excited to see from the legacy cast?
I think everyone's going to have kind of the same answer. And right now it is a tie between Dave and Bob. Dave is so funny, but he wasn't on nearly as much as Bob. But Dave just was cracking jokes, making fart noises all the time, and we all were just laughing. We were just rolling on the floor, just the stupid voices that he would do. It was great. I had the most fun with him, but I think connection wise I had the most with Bob because he was on it so much, and we would just sit down and talk, and it was great. It was really nice to have like that, grandpa, grandson kind of moment.
That's cool.
As for John, I'm not dissing John here at all. John is equally as great, but I'm just saying he wasn't on it as much. So
Right. Now, did you perfect Dave's tagline?
Cut it out.
Cut it out.
Oh, you got it, my friend.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Now, has he helped you? Because, you were talking voice content with animation, and Dave is a master at it. Did you get any great advice from Dave for doing voiceovers and also cartoons?
I actually just started doing voiceover, like in the beginning of the year. I got with an agency called CESD, and they do mostly voiceovers. So I unfortunately did not. I would have loved to hear all of Dave's stuff. He did teach me how to whistle though, which was really cool. So I got that one, and then so I always wanted to know how to do those, and he taught me how. It was really cool.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you can always reach out to him. Dave's pretty cool about being accessible, especially to help you. I'm sure he'll be right there with you.
Yeah, definitely. Next time I have some like crazy cartoon voice, I'll call him up.
Test with him, he'll run the lines with you, I'm sure. He'll give you some great advice. That's the best part. He really will give you some great advice. I mean, he's got to be excited too, because he did some of the Ghostbuster animation, and of course, hopefully, well, I don't know if it'll happen this fall now, maybe next year sometime for Ghostbusters sequel. We're all looking forward to that.
McKenna Grace is in it. She's on Fuller House too. Yeah.
Right. I was just going to talk about that. And remember, McKenna, you, Isaac, and Laundry were at Party on the Pier supporting UCLA Mattel Children's Hospital.
Yeah,
so
hopefully. I'm going to clean out the prizes.
Okay, you're going to clean out the prizes and then donate them,
of course.
obviously.
Yeah, I'm going to put it right there in that toy bin. Yeah.
Mattel Children's Hospital. Give them back. Pay it forward.
Of course.
We're out here to be able to use our name and our show to be able to bring happiness and awareness to to everything, and I that's why I do what I do, to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite events of the year. I've been here like I think 3 times now,
Right.
so it's been very, very fun. And I love mixing charity with something that's so much fun, especially for kids. So it's been very, very fun coming, and I always want to come back.
Kenna used to be there too.
What is the best part about participating in an event like this and the party on the pier?
Well, giving back to children who are sick and hurt.
McKenna, talk about a talent. She is so awesome, isn't she?
She's so fun. I love McKenna, and it was really fun because she was in Japan with us,
right?
And she was like my next door neighbor in the hotel thing. So like me, her mom, and my mom, we just go down and like get some food or like go out and explore, because my mom and her mom kind of became friends. So McKenna and I bonded. It was really nice, and we went to like the Pokemon store, and she was telling about like, you know, all the favorite songs, and like we learned songs together. It was really nice every time she was on. What a pleasure.
She is a talent. You know, I could see you guys working on a project somewhere together in the future, and it'd just be so awesome. It really would be.
Thank you.
You mentioned Japan, and you know how blessed you are that you actually, at this stage in your life, have gone to Japan, because who knows in the near future when you'd ever have thoughts or be able to go to Japan again.
Yeah, I'd always wanted to go to Japan. It was the coolest place to me. My sister is actually fluent in Japanese. She translates video game things from like Japanese. That's her job, and I took her with me, which was really cool too. And going experiencing all that was like just such an eye opener, and I never would have thought to do that. So you're right, I would have not even considered a possibility from now on. I was like, nope, not gonna travel. Not gonna do that.
Well, we talked about McKenna from the current cast, and she just guest starred on the show. Let's talk about the cast of Fuller House and the bond that you all really became a family. Let's talk about everybody in the cast.
Sure. Yeah. Everyone in the cast, all the main cast. I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We're like a second family. Sony's like my sister, Elias is like my little brother, and everyone really, they're like my aunt, my uncle, my mom, they all really have that genuine connection with me. And it's because they had this amazing chemistry 30 years ago all together, and so much love for each other that we were just kind of adopted into that, like this really strong bond. And it has yielded just the best childhood for me possible, being able to come to these people and have this job that is the jackpot. I'm just put it out there. It's definitely the jackpot show. The best springboard I could have ever had for my career, with the best cast and the most amazing crew. So, and you know, I'd also consider the crew. I'm very close with the crew as well. So I don't want to neglect them. You know, like my director, well, the director, his name is Rich Correll. He's definitely family to us. We wouldn't be anywhere without him. We wouldn't be anywhere without Jeff Franklin, the one who created the show. We wouldn't be anywhere without everyone. But there's so many to you know, even count. As for the main cast, we're just so tight. Just after 5 years of doing it and 30 years of them doing it.
Who kept you in stitches the most?
Wait, in stitches? What you mean?
Who kept you laughing the most?
Laughing out of the main cast?
Favorite to work with on camera?
Oh my, definitely Adam Hagenboot, the one who plays Jimmy Gibbler.
He's perfectly casted, by the way. There's no question.
Perfect.
He was perfectly casted for that role.
Watch him in any episode at all, and you look in the background and he's just sitting there. He's okay as an actor. This is really impressive, but he's always reacting to everything going on in the scene. He's so professional. He's so funny. He's so intelligent. And out of anyone, I'm sorry, everyone, I love you all, but Adam, hands down, my favorite person to work with.
It's interesting because, again, the last episode of the first part of season 5, when he thought that he had lost the ring, that was classic.
Engagement ring? Check what where?
Did you check your pockets?
That's what this is. What do you think I'm doing?
With all of you all in the sub shop just tearing the place apart, that was a classic episode. It kind of reminds you of one of those classic episodes that'll go down in history because everything was just destroyed.
Classic. That was so fun to shoot because I got to eat all the sandwiches after too.
You made them and then you ate them, huh?
I remember having like 4 sandwiches. I was feeling so stuffed that day.
We've got the entire cast and crew to be very gracious to, and it's going to be hard, but bittersweet, and we know that we're going to see more. I don't care what anybody says. We're going to see more. You know we're going to see more. So anything that you can share for the last episodes?
Well, as you guys know, we are having a triple wedding. And it so much closure. I'm trying to be real general here. Some old characters you would not expect to return, and it makes it very, very fun. Unfortunately, I can say that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen did not come back, and which is very sad. But I would have absolutely loved for them too. Although we do make a lot of jokes about them in the last one, so keep a lookout for that. That's
that'll be fun. Well, maybe for the Christmas movie that we might expect, maybe you'll go to New York and run into them in New York. Who knows? Get a cameo with them. I know that was the one, right?
That'd be great.
I know that was the one thing the entire cast was hoping somewhere along the way that they would have a short cameo at the very least. But, you know, that's the way to just keep us wanting more, Michael.
Getting more seasons. We want to see Mary-Kate and Ashley.
It's been 3 decades, and I'm sure we're going to see 3 more decades at the very least. The show's genre continuing after generation, especially after going through this pandemic, because people that weren't fans of the show are now probably really big fans of the show because they had time to watch the whole series and binge watch it.
Right. And not only that, but, you know, people really need this now because Full House was such like a calming, you know, nice feel-good show. And this is sort of the same thing, but in this, you know, day and age. So anyone who's just chilling at home, go out and watch it. I promise it'll make you feel much better.
So how many episodes will we see in the second half of season 5?
Have a total of 9 episodes, which amounts to 18 as a total of season 5.
Wonderful. So people can enjoy this, and they'll probably start binge watching everything on Netflix, and you can learn more at netflix.com, right, Michael?
That's right.
So Michael, fess up. What did you take from the set?
You want to know what I took from the set?
I want to know, Michael.
It's so funny, guys. Like no one's ever asked me that. I actually have a Nerf gun right here that I stole from the set. It's so funny because Elias and I would always shoot each other with this Nerf gun, and I like so it has like a tiny little laser pointer. And so anytime I was bored on set and I just wanted to like mess with people, I would take this Nerf gun and just kind of like point it at people's clothes or just like confuse people like this laser. I didn't point at people's eyes. That was bad. Right. I never did that. But I would just mess people with this thing. Also, they had a bass on set hanging up on the wall. I don't have it here right now, but I have it in my room. It's kind of like a beat up bass. I don't necessarily play it, but it's more for like sentimental value, really. And I took a bass. I took this Nerf gun. Some like miscellaneous things that they're just giving out, like a pair of binoculars. I don't know why I decided to take that, but just like random stuff from my room. I'm sure that I have scattered about here somewhere. But yeah, I definitely took stuff throughout the whole 5 years. Actually, they just give me stuff sometimes, or I just sneak it.
Yeah, any of your outfits that you wore?
Actually, yeah, I have a lot of. You just remind me of that. They, for some of the wardrobe, if it wasn't like $60 and over, like by the piece, they were just going to go ahead and give it away. It was like, well, then just stand it over here.
Right.
So I have I'd say like a good like fifth of my wardrobe in my own closet right now. Shirts, not too many pants. I have some a lot of button-up shirts and sweaters, and I wear that on the daily too. So.
Oh, that's cool, because we know you frequently go to the Hollywood Museum. So at some point in the near future, we'll probably see a Fuller House display at the Hollywood Museum. So you got a few things of your personal items that you to be loaned out to the Hollywood Museum to.
There you go. I didn't even think of it like
days, right?
That's great. I didn't even think of it.
Yeah, I mean, you got to continue your history some way or another. There's no question about that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll conjure up some more Fuller House stuff to give away.
We're very much looking forward to the second half of season 5 of Fuller House, and it's on Netflix.com and it's streaming now. Michael, what's some of those takeaways that you hope the audience takes from the entire series that you were a part of, being Fuller House, and also the
Fuller House as a whole? And Full House too. The whole message at the end of the day was everything can be solved with, communication and love, and talking things out in a healthy way. And I think that really inspires people to genuinely be better in their own lives. So if you can learn from the lessons in Fuller House, I think that you're doing pretty good. Full House and Fuller House. And as for the ending episodes, man, I feel like each episode has its own, unique identity and own problem that it solves. But as a key takeaway, man, I want to say something, but it's going to give away some stuff for their show. So I guess you got to go out.
They got to wait then for streaming on Netflix. Wonder if we can throw this one in: Lola or Rocky?
You mean like my preference, or like Jackson at the end of the show?
Jackson. Let's keep it to Jackson.
Jackson. Well, Rocky is now his girlfriend, and that was kind of end of season 4, kind of beginning of season 5. There's some stuff that happens at the end that. A little drama here and there.
Okay, so you do get into the drama. We knew it had to come. I mean, we know it's a perfect world in Fuller House, but we know there's got to be a little mischievous drama at some point with you guys.
Definitely, there definitely is. So look out for that too.
Well, Michael, it's so great that you've been a part of this series, and it's even cooler that with the Hollywood Moment and Shout Out for a Cause, we've actually been there through this journey with you. What has been one of those moments for you personally in this journey as you have started fulfilling your dreams as an actor? It started with what's been going on the day you got cast with Fuller House, but you've evolved so much since that first day.
You mean like the stepping stone, like milestones kind of thing? Yeah. I think for me as an actor, and me wanting to be out here and be successful, it has been, first of all, a great journey. But as for milestones, obviously getting cast on the show was the first big step, and then I think learning by example. I think more than anything, Fuller House taught me how the business worked, because being on the other side, I just kind of liked it because I liked acting. I didn't really know too much about the business and actually being out in Hollywood. So that was a big learning curve I had to get over. Other learning curves was, trying to find my place out here in LA. Like what do I like to do? What kind of people do I hang out with? How do I find friends? Because I don't go to school or anything like that. How do I adapt to being an actor out here, and still live a relatively normal life? And then we got into the territory of, my personal identity and what do I want. And Fuller House really helped me get through that, because I had so much support, be able to talk to people like, how did you handle these situations? Like something like girlfriend stuff and, personal things. But for my career, that also helped me, be more mature and understand how to, talk to people in business terms, and my eyes are just so open now to the possibilities. I feel like I'm definitely more open-minded, and if nothing was taken from it acting wise or professionally, definitely more open-minded to more points of view and different walks of life.
Cool. Very cool. Well, the world's your oyster, as they say now. You've got so many opportunities. Is there anything that you're working on currently, even though we're in COVID, pre-COVID, that you're attached to, that you're excited about?
I so wish. I haven't gotten any projects, unfortunately, but as soon as COVID is lifted a little bit, I'm gonna go back to the Magic Castle and start performing again as soon as that opens up. So whenever that happens, it's May 29th right now, so I'd say like mid-June, late July, whenever it starts to open up, that's when I'll go to the Magic Castle. So if you guys are feeling crazy, you want to go out in public and go to the Magic Castle, come see me one of the weekends. I'll be there.
As we get through this new normal and things kick in, we're looking to see amazing things come from you, Michael. It's been so great talking to you today. And most importantly, Michael, people really need to relax and chill and tune in to the second half of season 5 on Netflix of Fuller House. It's streaming. They can learn more by going to netflix.com, Fuller House. Michael, what do you want to tell the fans that have been supporting you guys since day one?
You guys are amazing. We would not have a show without you. And if you continue supporting, we just might get you a Fullest House.
Oh, there you go, Michael. Well, we are looking and counting for at least a movie, a Christmas movie.
At least a Christmas movie.
A Christmas movie. And who knows, maybe we'll see the Olsen twins do a cameo and you all can fly to New York and enjoy the city life in New York. And that'd be fun as well. Well, Michael, we need to remind everyone that they can follow you on social media to keep up to the latest and greatest of everything you're doing by going to...
Instagram is at Michael Campion. Twitter is _Michael Campion. And I don't really use Facebook too much. So those are the only two that I'll be super active on.
There you go, folks. And please don't forget, tune in to the second part of season 5 of Fuller House. You can learn more at netflix.com and start streaming now. Once again, this is BJ Korros with the Hollywood Moment at Home edition with our guest,
Michael Campion.
And this is the Hollywood Moment.
Go watch Fuller House
on Netflix.
Streaming now.
Netflix.com. Until next time, this is BJ Korros with the Hollywood Moment at Home edition. And thanks to our guest, Michael Campion, for making our house a little fuller today. You can learn more about Michael by going to all his social media at Michael Campion. And remember, Fuller House is streaming now on Netflix. Learn more at netflix.com. And please tune in to Celebrity Page Nightly. You can learn more by going to celebritypage.com. Until next time, this is BJ Korros with the Hollywood Moment at Home edition. If you liked the episode, hit the like button and do subscribe.